Hey everybody, I'm Jesse and welcome to another edition of Gen X Thinks. And today I'm going to talk about technology, just the overall arc of technology. No specific thing, just that broad category of technology. In a lot of ways, it has improved our lives. And there are a lot of younger people now who haven't experienced anything else. That's all they know is this technological world that we live in today. Us as Gen Xers and some of the older millennials, we remember what it was like without all this technology, without high-speed internet and all this other stuff. And as adults in the working world, technology has improved our lives by leaps and bounds. There's no doubt about that. But I would argue that it's made life more difficult for children and parents. Parenting is more difficult now, without a doubt, and being a child is more difficult. Where it used to be back in the day, we'd go to school and we'd, experience peer pressure or whatever other kind of social pressures we had on us back then. And now we'd experience those things during class at school or recess or whatever, and maybe a little bit after school. But now these kids are under these pressures constantly, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That can't be a good thing. Not only that, but there are predators online pretending to be kids, trying to get children's attention and this and that. So technology isn't always a good thing across the board. Blanket statement, technology's great. It's not always great. And when we look at it with some good old-fashioned Gen X common sense, we see that pretty quickly. You can, as a parent, you can get apps or whatever on your kid's phone that'll track their GPS location, and you can look and see. But I'm sure there are things children can do to bypass that, to get around that. Leave their phone at their friend's house when they go and have another phone for whatever. It just, technology does make things more difficult in a lot of ways for parents and children, both. If I could, I would allow children to grow up without it. But that's almost impossible because, every kid in school has a phone, so every kid in school wants a phone. It's what, they want the new cool phone or whatever for Christmas. And, what do? You can't deny your kid access to the internet and all this stuff his entire life. You can, and it's probably the best decision, but it's really hard because, to watch your kid go to school and be the weirdo without a phone. Another way that technology is a bad thing is definitely social media, because there's a lot of influence that can be exerted through these platforms. It can be magnified by the platform or squashed down by the platform, depending on what side the platform wants to be on. If they like one idea and dislike the other one, they can promote the first one and silence the other one. That's not good. Not good for free people. That's not good. I'd rather hear some wacko idea flown in on an asteroid than not be free. I wish freedom for every single human being on this planet. Freedom is the best thing out there. To silence people because of their opinion or their ideas that's evil to me. That's just straight up evil. I'd rather hear their crazy ideas than have them silenced by a third party. Their ideas aren't hurting me. I'd rather see that person free to say their weird ideas than see them silenced by a huge corporation. And that's my opinion on that. But that is prevalent. It happens every day on a large scale, and that's not a good thing. That's not a good road we want to go down. And we're already down it pretty far. I should have said that's not a road we want to continue to go down. But now with the high-speed internet and all this, we can work from home now. I mean, you can have a good job, a well-paying job, and work from home. That's got to be a good thing. Save you money on gas, commuting back and forth to work. Save you money on clothes. It save you all kind of money. So anything that saves people money, I think, is basically a good thing. For an individual to save money, it's not always a good thing for a huge corporation to save money, but for an individual, I think so. I think pretty much anytime you can save an individual money, it's a good thing. Families and individuals need our help. Those big corporations don't need our help. Now we're getting into an era of AI where we can't believe anything that we see or hear. Used to, when we were kids, if you saw it on TV, it was real. They couldn't just make all this stuff up. If you saw it on TV, a moving picture, it was real. It happened. Then we got to where the technology could advance so far that they could manipulate still images to the point where you couldn't tell if it was real or fake. Now with this AI, they can just make up a video, just make it up on the fly. Without it, you don't even have to have a video to start with to edit. The AI just makes it up. This is difficult times we're coming up on now with this AI. Just everything is fake. Nothing can be believed. That's weird territory. The future is looking weird. It's looking strange when I think about it, and we're not going to be able to believe anything we see or hear on a screen. You don't know if it's completely made up. What will that do to society? Kids being born now, growing up into this and not being able to believe anything. Already the younger generation, they don't even want to go outside at all. They stay in their room and stay online almost totally. So if you're living online and you cannot believe anything you see online, then what's real? Reality is important. It's what the world is made of. The universe is made of reality. That's a pretty large thing to, push to the side and say, we don't need that anymore. I think we had a happy medium there at some point with technology and manipulation of images and stuff, maybe in the early 2000s, where we could be online and do stuff online and, play games or whatever, or maybe even watch movies online. Then we flew right past that sweet spot, I think. We're getting off into territory now where everything's going to have to be questioned. Nothing is going to be valid or real. I don't know how scary that is, whatever, but it's weird at the very least. Maybe a little unsettling to think about a future where, you can't trust anything you see online. We're already having arguments on X and these different platforms. We're already having arguments with bots. They're just computer programs that start arguments with you and pretend to be on the opposite side of the whatever spectrum, the political spectrum or the ideological spectrum. So a lot of the arguing we're doing with these people online are actually bots. And once I learned that, I've only been on one or two. I've only been in one or two arguments with people online, and mostly it's because of something I said that they disagree with. But once I realized that most of them are bots anyway, maybe not most of them, but a lot of them. I'm not sure what the percentage versus real users is, but it's bigger than you might think. And anyway, I don't even argue anymore because I feel like an idiot for arguing with a computer program. All this technology we have, and they're spending all this money on making more money. They're figuring out how to get more of our attention, how to get more of our money from us. That's what they're spending most of their money on. That and big yachts and stuff and mansions and all that. It goes without saying, but most of the money they spend is trying to get more of our money from us. They're not using this technology in wonderful new ways to solve humanity's problems, because homelessness is as bad or worse as it's ever been. Mental health is it's worse than it's ever been before. A lot of things like that could be fixed if resources were focused on these problems. We could fix them, but they're not interested in any of that stuff. They're interested in gathering more of our information, gathering more of our data. I don't know how many of y'all have experienced this, but me and my wife, I mean, many times we've been talking about something and then get an ad about that thing on our phone. The exact thing we were talking about. And it's happened too many times to be coincidence. The first couple times it happened, that's coincidence. That's weird. By the 12th, 15th time it happened, well, yeah, our phones are listening to us. What are you going to do? I'm not going to walk into another room away from my phone to have a conversation. So, and that's probably how most people feel, I would think. We're not saying anything that'll get us in trouble or anything. We're just normal people. We're not plotting anything. So we're just talking about a vacation or a car or whatever. That's a weird feeling, to realize that your device is listening to you, paying attention to what you're saying. That's just weird. But they gather that information and then sell it. They sold that ad. They made money off that ad that they popped up after listening to your conversation. So we've gone from straight consumers to consumer/product in the chain, the circle. Because we are the product now as well. All of our information is being sold to these other companies for advertisement reasons, and we turn into the product. Technology is a wonderful and powerful tool, but we as Gen Xers know that it's not everything. We can live without it. It can be done. And I'll leave you with that. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. I love reading your comments and replying to y'all, so please do that. If you'd like to support the channel, I'll put the link to buy me a coffee in the description. Also, there'll be a link to some Gen X gear if you're interested in that. And if you have any ideas that you'd like to see come to life in an episode of Gen X Thinks, please put your idea down below. It's a lot of fun making videos that y'all recommend, so please do that. And another way of supporting the channel is to share these videos on your social media. If you do that, that'd be great. And as always, stay frosty, Gen X, and I'll see you on the next one.